Hello and welcome to another episode of Silence is Golden. I'm Simon Kelly and today we'll be talking about competitor research for WordPress projects. We'll also be talking about GDPR Armageddon and we'll be crossing live over to Troy and find out what he's doing. Stay with us. So we might as well call out the elephant in the room, and that's that we're about 15 minutes late, and we have been having some technical fun back here. I say fun because I just sit here and just watch the panic on the other side of the cameras. But Max has been doing an awesome job, as has Ray, to get this together. So if it's streaming and you can see what's happening, then that's pretty good. If you can hear us as well, that'd just be great. But we're gonna press on. So we're going to take the core topic, the golden nugget for this week is about competitor research for WordPress projects. So I'll actually be sharing my process for that, and I'll explain about why I do that, and hopefully it's something that's useful for you. But before we get into that, we're going to take a look at some things that happened in the past week.
Stuff that happened.
So first of all, I'm sure you're all aware of GDPR Armageddon, and you've been getting a lot of emails for privacy policy updates and things like that. It has been a bit of an interesting time, that's for sure. My personal standpoint on this is wait till everyone else has solved it and then figure out what to do at the end. The main advice that Troy has mentioned as well is about make sure you get in touch with a lawyer if you're unsure about what to do or how to manage this for your clients. There is, however, a Facebook group that I think we mentioned last week as well called GDPR for Online Entrepreneurs, UK, US, Canada and Australia, run by a lawyer called Suzanne Dibble. You can actually sign up to her lead magnet, which gives you a bunch of free resources. I think there's a small checklist and like 10-minute course on what you need to know, I think. 10 minutes, 2 hours, I can't exactly remember, but there's a bit of content there about GDPR, so make sure you're schooling yourself on that. And yeah, if in doubt, do speak to a lawyer or recommend that your clients speak to a lawyer. And if there are any key takeaways, please let us know if there's anything in particular. So with GDPR, sticking with the theme there, Elegant Themes have released some GDPR compliance features to their products, including Divi and Bloom. You can read all about that in their blog, but it's basically combining a custom field with the opt-ins so that you can add in their statement about your privacy policy, the way you collect cookies, and have the checkbox as well for users to confirm that they are going to receive communication from you, that they give that extra permission. So Elegant Themes have done a great job with adding that into their products. Also, Adobe XD is now free. Now, I'm a fan of Sketch myself. I haven't actually used Adobe XD, but I've heard really good things. And in this article by web designer Depot, they're talking about it being the new flagship product for Adobe. So I'm really interested to try it out. But this is one of the things that I am not good at, and that's self-control and trying out too many apps and changing things all the time. I'll get to that a little bit later. But I'm interested to know, do you use Adobe XD? Do you use Sketch? Which one do you prefer? Where does Adobe XD fit in your workflow? And do you think it's going to be the flagship product for Adobe? Considering it's free, I don't know how it's going to be the flagship product because it doesn't bring in any revenue, but it's a good way to get users on board to then sign up to their monthly subscription model. Also, WordPress has turned 15 2 days ago, so it's 29th in Australia here today. So on the 27th, it turned 15 years ago. There's an article on WordPress on WP Tavern talking about that. There was also a website dedicated to WordPress turning 15, which is just basically social media posts coming out with the hashtag WP15, I believe, which is pretty exciting. So 15 years, pretty amazing. It's definitely good to highlight, take a moment to think about how WordPress has helped you in your business and in what you're able to deliver to your customers. Like how much easier is not having to build this stuff yourself, basically. So yeah, huge thank you to WordPress, all the contributors, volunteers, everyone involved in making it happen. Cool. So Yeah, there you go. That's what's been happening this week. But I'm just getting this in. We're going to cross over live to Troy in the WP Elevation members area and see what they're up to.
We have the WP Elevation blueprint, which is our unique process for delivering results. It's the flight path we take you on from where you are now, ground zero, to your destination happy place.
There you go. So Troy is delivering a webinar right now for the WP Elevation members, delivering some gold as always, talking about the vision for the WP Elevation blueprint and what's next, and sharing some resources that are, without giving away too much, it's about identifying where it is that you want to go, what your skills and your sweet spot is, getting super clear on that, identifying who has the benefit the most from what you have to offer, and then creating a game plan to actually get you there. So an action plan to get you from where you are now to the place that you want to be, and what your business would look like to bridge that gap. So that's what's being worked on inside the members area, which is also, the blueprint is live. The intake is live at the moment, so you can sign up. There should be a link directly below me, otherwise I'm just pointing to the desk. So hopefully that's live. I've got no TV screen feedback. Hopefully it's there in all its glory. So you can sign up here and join us at WP Elevation and go through the blueprint and improve your WordPress business and build sustainable recurring revenue. And the whole idea, the whole plan of WP Elevation is to help you build the business that you want to achieve the lifestyle that you want, right? So it's not just about sales. It's not just about teaching you how to build the WordPress projects. It's about you figuring out what it is that you want to do and helping support you to make that happen. So there are sales scripts, there are process templates. There's obviously lots of training, webinars, coaching calls in there as well. So it's absolutely fantastic. And one of the big points that everyone loves in the WP Elevation program is the membership community. It's absolutely amazing. If I have any questions or if I want to challenge myself, I'll go in there and do some video or test out some different content that I'm working on. It's just an absolutely great community in there. So would love for you to join us in WP Elevation. It's not all fun and games though. This week there was a couple of things that was really getting under my skin. So let's take a look at what pissed me off.
This pisses me off.
This section is always fun because I'm a pretty calm guy and nothing really pisses me off. But there is something that continues to annoy me over and over again, and it is myself. And what annoys me is my addiction to learning information and different apps and trying new things, and I'm kind of having this internal battle with that, like, no, it's good, you have to keep learning, you have to keep testing things, but it's also that it's a distraction, so there needs to be like a limited time where you can do that. So basically I use other apps to block me from looking at different websites and apps, and I also use a subscription service to stop me subscribing to so many things and to track my subscriptions. So it's really this cruel vortex mix of never-ending fueling the beast that is within me. So that's what pisses me off. Yeah.
Let's get unstuck.
Cool. Just double checking, we're getting people unstuck now? Let's dive in. So we're going to help some people in our community get unstuck. So there's been some questions within the Facebook group. We're also putting together a way for you to ask questions directly to us here at Silence is Golden, so we can answer them live. So at the moment, if you comment on this video, or if you send us a comment to the WP Elevation Facebook page, we'll put that into our list and we'll answer those live on the show. So please let us know. But we're also going to be building another way for you to be able to ask us questions and for us to be able to plan out some of this content. So we are listening to what you're putting together and we are organizing it. So please let us know what you'd like to learn and where you're getting stuck. And we're going to create a way for you to do it anonymously as well. So you can send in whatever you like. Yeah. Cool. So from the group, I posted out about competitive research and was asking to see if anyone had any questions about that. And Coach Kath from Sydney mentioned this and said, you know what would be great? Somehow identifying how much some of the service competitor sites cost. For instance, being able to reason a certain site is hosted on WP Engine as opposed to something like Bluehost might give the client some appreciation of how much a disparity there is between what they hope to achieve and the cost of actually achieving it. Now, I think that is awesome, Kath. So not so much a question as such, but I do want to help with some different tools and advice to be able to help you uncover the costs of different sites. So what I'm going to go through with the competitor research plan will hopefully help with that. So I reckon we should dive into the gold nugget.
Time to dig into the gold nugget.
Super weird doing this solo, just talking to myself. Max is just doing like sign language in the background there. It is fun though. I hope you're still enjoying it. I hope you're taking value from this. So, all right, competitor research. Why is it important to do competitor research? So I started doing this for my clients about 4 or 5 years ago. I always did some research into their industry and sites that they liked and their competitors, and just had a brief look into it and just kind of take a mental note and not give any kind of deliverable to a client at all. So I would do some research, take some notes, and that would just be for me. That would be for me to pay attention to that during the design, during development, and for me to create a bit of a strategy behind that. So I since changed that to something that I actually deliver to clients in a document. It's not complex or anything like that. I'm using a variety of different tools, not using just one thing that does all of it. It's really just a document and go through a specific checklist to give them key information about their competitors, because, as Kath was saying as well, I want to let the clients know an indication of how much their competitors are spending. I want to let the client know as well what tools and software their competitors are spending. Are they spending money on ads? I really want to tease that kind of stuff out, so it's the honest truth is out there. What the client thinks that they might want to do in terms of their ad spend, in terms of their website, in terms of how much this is going to cost. I really want to debunk the myth in their head if they think it's going to be really cheap and they're not going to be able to need to spend anything on an ongoing basis. So I really want to give the honest look at the landscape of the search engines, ad spend, marketing software that might be used, hosting platforms that are used for their competitors and what it looks like in their industry, so that we can give a better strategy to our clients and potentially sell to them additional services that are going to help them achieve success for their project. So it is about selling. It is about providing a better service to your client as well, because this kind of stuff they just wouldn't have any idea about. So at the end of the process, I deliver them a document and we go through it together, and it just helps them understand how it works. It's also something we refer back to as well as we're developing a strategy for our clients. So what kind of things do we include in competitor research? So some of the things that I include are how the search engine result pages look for their specific keyword. So let's say it's locksmith Melbourne. So I would put that into Google, and one of the things you could do is just take a screenshot of what that looks like. So that would show you the map listings, it would show you the ads, and it would show you the top search results as well. So that just gives your client a brief snapshot into what the competitors look like. And even just delivering something like that helps to just position you as someone who's pays attention to what's happening in search engines and is understanding a bit more about the competitors. So what I go a bit of a step beyond that, and I have a look in the free version of SEMrush. I'll put the top keyword into SEMrush, and then we'll have a look at the main websites that are ranking for that, and see where the client is ranking for that, if they have a site at the moment. So that will help us discover some of what their key competitors are. I'll also ask, before we get started in this process, who they think their competitors are. I'll run this competitive process with just 3 altogether. If the client gives me 5, I'll usually use 2 of the clients and then 1 from the organic search results, so someone who's quite high, because what they're doing in search and how visible they are is obviously working. So I want to look at not just what the client thinks is their competitor, but I want to look at what search engines and what online presence thinks is that particular client's competitor. So just having a look at some other things that I add in there. And yes, I will be sharing some templates, but we'll get to that in a sec. So I'll take a screenshot of the competitor website and then just break down what the different components of their site. Like what kind of hosting are they using? What software are they using? Are they using something like HubSpot, Marketo? What kind of hosting platform are they on? Are they using a CDN? What CMS are they using? I'll list that just within a table. I'll also list what their page title is, because I want to understand some of the key search terms that they're trying to rank for. I'll list their meta description as well, and then some of the key headings that they've got within the page. So what usually the key headings help to identify what the target audience is and the problems that you're trying to solve. So I'll just list those in a document so we can just get a clear picture without looking at the website. We're just breaking down the website and the strategy to its roots and just putting it within a document. And I've had really good feedback from this, and it worked quite well. So I also take a look at the number of indexed pages. We look at Open Site Explorer by Moz and take a look at how many links and backlinks that they've got, and just a brief summary of what these links look like. Are they looking pretty spammy? A lot of directories there. Have they got lots of government websites, lots of schools linking to them? So anything that really stands out. And doing a mobile-friendly test as well. There's a lot of stuff here without showing you anything, so I want to be able to show you something useful. So I'm going to, if we can do a screen share, is that doable? Yeah. So if you're not already seeing my screen, you are seeing my screen? Awesome. Have you been seeing my screen the whole time? No? Okay, good. All right, so starting at the top. So this is just an example client that I've got here. So what we're saying, it's competitive research. I've just got this in a Google Doc, really, really basic. Taking a look at, so what I do is I have a title and then a very brief explanation of what it is. So this is just taking a look at the search landscape and what keyword are we looking at, right? If the client doesn't know what keyword, you can usually just guess what it is, right? And you don't have to be absolutely perfect with this, getting the perfect keyword. There's a lot of different keywords that have different objectives, and that's a whole nother other topic that we could talk about with keyword research. But just picking one that overall identifies their industry and their business, and that would be great to rank for. I usually get the client's confirmation that is something that they would like to rank for and something that accurately identifies their business before we get started with this. So I go into SEMrush. This is where I got this screenshot from. I take a look at the ads, because advertising more so than organic results, you can customize those a lot more, and they're instant. So the words that marketers are using, I find those keywords to be very important as part of the strategy. So I take a screenshot of that. And this is just the free version of SEMrush as well that I do this with. You get 10 searches per day, I believe. And then below that, I put in the top 20 organic websites for that particular key phrase. Coming down, so this is, I'll just go through one of the sites that we take a look at. So we start off with, again, like a brief sentence, like, why are we doing this competitive research? List the competitor, their URL, do a screenshot of their homepage there, and a brief summary. So I put in here, like, they're dominating the search results for many keywords and for a high number of searches. So I put that in there after a bit of research. Just a brief summary. Now, you wouldn't have to add this in. If you're not comfortable with search engine optimization or ads or anything like that, you can just leave the stuff out that you're not comfortable explaining. But this really is a huge value add for your clients. I've used this when I'm talking to leads, so it's great for prospecting, but it's something I do on every single project now, and I just do it as a value add. I don't sell this as part of the project or put this as a deliverable. I just think this is a great way to start off a relationship with a client and start off a project. So I do this with all of my clients now. And my team actually deliver this, and it takes about an hour, an hour to 2 hours to put the whole thing together, which is great by following this process. So screenshot, as I mentioned before, the site meta title. Now there's a Chrome extension called One-Click Page Meta, I believe, or One-Click SEO. One-Click Meta, I think it's called. And it click one time, and then it'll give you the title and the meta description. You can just copy and paste that in. Then we put in the key headings for the site. What's the call to action that they're doing here? So live demo, click for a live demo of the system. What technologies are they using? Now, 2 tools that I use for this. One is builtwith.com, and the other is What Runs, which is a Chrome extension, and you can click on that and it tells you what runs on the website, which is pretty amazing. Now, within the technologies used section, I don't put in everything because there's a lot of technical stuff. There's a lot of JavaScript libraries and things like that, which will come up. You don't want to just bore your client to tears with all of that. You just want to put out the key things, as Kath was saying before. You want to put out the key things that really increase the value and potential cost of the website, and really just give the reality of what this particular competitor is probably spending on their online presence. And yeah, it'll help to advise the strategy for the website build and for the ongoing marketing, if that is something you offer. And even if it isn't, this is a great way to value add to your clients, and then partner with a marketing company that can help with the ongoings as well. So we also go into Google, look at the number of index pages just by going site and then colon and then the name of the competitor website. That just gives you a number of the index pages. We'll go to Open Site Explorer from Moz and put in the website there as well. And just have a look at the domains, as I was saying before, see if it's anything particularly spammy. Have they done lots of PR work there? Anything coming from government sites that we're going to have to tackle. Also, we do a link to the mobile responsive test as well. I think for this particular one, I'm using mi.responsivedesign.is, and that takes you to a website where you can see the responsiveness of a particular page. Dun, dun, dun. And it's not working for this particular one. And they've got a giant black bar. That's very nice. But Google have their own mobile-friendly test, which is highly recommended to use that one as well. I put in some social details and then a bit of advertising, and then I do a short website review. So I'll just take a look at the website and I'll just put together things that I'm noticing there, things that are working, things that aren't working, just things that I feel are important to communicate to the client, and then just space for additional notes at the bottom there. So I'll repeat that 3 times for 3 different competitors, and my team will repeat that 3 times, and I'll put my final little notes or like just eyes over that before I present that to the client. And that's how we go through our competitor research. Now, of course, something that makes this easier is by having a template that we can repeat over and over again, which brings us to...
Get ready for Tool of the Week.
Nailed it, Max. Nailed it. Didn't even lead you in there. Cool. Brings us to Tool of the Week, which is the template that I've got to share with you here. And I can see that someone's already looking at it, which is interesting. So this is just the document that I was just showing you then, except without all the content in it. So you can just take that, duplicate that, and then just run through the process that I mentioned. And are we screen sharing at the moment, Max? Don't have to be. We are now. So yeah, it just goes through. It's just the skeleton version of what I was just showing you. So you just duplicate that and then go through that for a couple of competitors. Delete the parts you're not comfortable with, add in extra parts you think would be useful, and start adding extra value to your clients. I also have a process for this. Very, very simple process, just basically following the steps. Now, we may possibly do this as a tutorial and go through this in a bit more detail so you can see exactly how it works. But until then, this document should be able to serve you well to be able to start putting together competitor research for your website projects to help deliver some more value for your clients. As a lot of people in the WP Elevation group mentioned as well, this is something you can bring to prospect meetings, and you can talk to them about a presentation that you can give to them and show them how much extra work you've done, and you could potentially charge for this as a one-off as well to put together this high-level competitor research. So I hope that's been useful. Just getting to the next section. Cool. Hope that's been useful. Let me know what you think. I'm just going to quickly jump over into Facebook and see if we have any comments or anything going on there. So just give me a sec. It has been a fun day of technology here, but Max, you're holding it together, buddy. Oh, just gonna mute my thing. It is super weird watching myself 5 seconds ago do exactly this. G'day, Colleen. Hope you're still here. Colleen says hi. The course and community are amazing. And of course, Colleen's talking about WP Elevation, which is awesome. Colleen says this is a great topic. Never thought of offering that as a deliverable. Yeah, I'd love to know what you do as well there, Colleen, with putting together competitive research. We've got Lee Erickson here. Hope you're still watching as well. Fayoke, is that how you say your name? Fayoke? Fayoke Long? Yeah, totally. Lee says I'm looking a little lonesome. I am. I'm looking very lonesome. I would love to get some comments or some questions or some likes or some shares or something just to prove that people are still here. It's just me and this like box behind me, which we're almost at 12,000, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, keep the love coming. Cool. All right. As I mentioned before, the WP Elevation Blueprint, the intake is now open. So go along to the link that we mentioned earlier and sign up if you want to be part of the WP Elevation program and you want to grow your WordPress business to help support your lifestyle. It's absolutely fantastic community. Have been in there for 3 years now, I think. Yeah, would recommend it to anyone who wants to take their WordPress consulting business to the next level. Designer, developers, marketers, anyone using WordPress and they want to be able to grow that and use tried and tested systems to grow their business. If you like this video, please like it, share it, tell your friends or tag someone in that you think would find competitive research useful. And of course, let me know if there's anything in particular you'd like to learn more. If there's a topic that I covered today that you'd like to go a bit deeper on, any particular questions that you've got that I didn't quite cover, please let us know. We're always looking for ways to add value to people that are building sites with WordPress. So please let us know. And if you are interested in really, if you're serious about growing this, then make sure you do check out the WordPress Elevation sign-up pages. There's a lot of free videos and value, and I believe the proposal template that you can get for free there if you haven't picked that up already. So make sure you go and check that out.
My promise with Mavericks is that it's the ultimate journey to leveraging your business so that your business works for you rather than you working for it.
Max is trying to communicate something.
And so basically, what it is me.
And I have no idea what it is. Yeah, cool. All right. All right. Well, until next time, remember that knowledge is power and silence is golden.